Good morning, guys. Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with another gorgeous sunrise view inside Johns Pass. There is a gorgeous start to our beautiful Friday here inside Johns Pass. Private recreational red snapper season has opened. Our federal for-hire recreational season has been open a little bit now, and we finally have some gorgeous weather. So the boats are pouring out of Johns Pass to get out there and go after those red snapper and gag grouper. The fishing's been pretty good lately too. We're excited for a beautiful weekend with really nice weather. We've got some gorgeous weather in the forecast over the next 7 days, but we still have quite a bit of rain. So we've got a little bit of rain to contend with through the weekend, but we do overall have really nice weather. So we're looking forward to a great time out there this weekend. The red snapper, the gags are both biting well. Near shore, we're seeing some good action too. We're going to talk a little bit about our fishing report, and we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going on here too. So as far as the fishing report goes, inshore, we're seeing those tarpon. They kind of spread out this week with that west wind. We had west wind almost over 7 days. So those tarpon tend to swim into the wind. So they kind of headed offshore a little bit, spread out, kind of disappeared this week. But this full moon tide, these hill tides that we have this weekend should bring those tarpon back to the passes, back to the beaches, and get us that good action and high numbers of fish we're looking for. Then also we have the snook. The snook have been biting like crazy. And this weekend, the snook bite should be really good as well. We've got some exciting things going on with Salt Strong that we're going to be sharing here this weekend, especially during our live stream show. So definitely check out the live stream show this Sunday night to learn a little bit more about how you can get tuned in and dialed in to inshore and near shore fishing, and also find out when the fish are biting best very easily. So stay tuned for the live show this weekend. But as far as the snook goes, the snook fishing has been crazy. We've been seeing a lot of snook caught. Angelo Rivera, John Sasser, a bunch of these guys that fish Johns Pass all the time have been just slapping a lot of snook. The snook bite has been best on the start of the incoming tide. Now this weekend with the full moon and these baits and these shrimp and these crabs flushing, I'd imagine the start of the outgoing tide is when the bite's going to start getting good this weekend for the snook. But so far this week, it's been the start of the incoming tide. But needless to say, the snook are biting very well, especially in the wee hours of the morning there, right before sunrise and right around sunrise is when we've been seeing those guys land those big snook the most often. Near shore, also I forgot, inshore, we've been seeing the mangrove snapper action pick up. Those little 8, 10, 12, 13, 14-inch mangrove snapper around Johns Pass Bridge are biting well, especially on the south side of Johns Pass, under the bridge there around Gators, where it's deeper and rockier. You can stand under the bridge around the start of the incoming or the start of the outgoing tide and free line some pieces of shrimp down there on ultralight tackle and have a ton of fun catching a lot of those good-eating mangrove snapper. Near shore, we've been seeing a lot of the lane snapper, porgies, a few hogfish, some nice gray snapper or white grunts mixed in, and then the occasional red grouper. The near shore bite definitely best around 70 to about 100 foot of water. The hogfish bite's tough this time of year, but you can occasionally run across them. The red grouper bite's been picking up a little bit as that water temperature warms. Definitely been going pretty well compared to how it was. Now, most of what we're doing is offshore, though, right now. Because of red snapper season being open, we're mostly fishing out in deeper waters. Now, right now, you start to see the red snapper around 90, 100 foot of water, but there's a lot of juvenile and undersized fish in that depth. You have to really pick through them to get to the keepers. Now, once you get out there to about 150, 160 foot, that's where you start seeing some bigger fish and more consistent keeper size fish. But the best depths for the red snapper is 180, 200 foot of water or more. Right around 200 foot to 260, 270 foot is where we've been doing a majority of our big red snapper. Those big 20, 21, 22 pound red snapper that we've been catching have all been past 200 foot of water. And out there, that's where you're going to see the gag grouper as well, in deeper water. Those gags are all out deep right now. They like that cooler water, and it's just too warm close to shore. So if I was you and I was heading out fishing for red snapper, I would definitely be hitting that 200 foot plus area and then looking for those gags and scamp grouper at the same time. We're catching a bunch of mangroves too, but you want to stay with that heavier tackle. 60 pound test minimum for mangroves, 60 to 80 pound test minimum for red snapper, and really for gags you need to be using at least 100 pound test. But anywhere up to 125, 150 still works. Really, anything less than 80 this time of year is just a little irresponsible, because you might hook that gag, he might break you off, and then he shuts down the bite for everybody else. So heavy tackle, big hooks, that's going to help you weed out those small red snapper and only catch the big dogs. Don't forget your venting tools. Super, super imperative that you either have a descending device or a venting tool on your boat when you're going offshore fishing this time of year. The water is super hot. Every fish that you toss back has to be vented or descended. So if you don't know what venting or descending is, shoot me a message to the Hubbard's Marina Facebook page and I'll send you all the information you need to learn. But definitely you do not go offshore fishing without a venting tool or descending device. Everybody needs to get on that same page, guys. We all got to work together to spread that word. And when you come fishing with us, we'll show you what that is. But as far as the fishing goes, that's kind of the news we got for you. Don't forget about our Fox 13 show this morning. We're doing that Fox 13 Good Catch segment at 8:15 a.m. Live on Fox 13 News. So if you want to join us for that, we'd appreciate it. And don't forget about our live stream show Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Hopefully you can join us. Remember, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. I hope you guys have a great weekend and you enjoy this beautiful weather and the great fishing we're having. Come out and join us on the water, guys. Have a great weekend.